And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes, and I am back with another video for you guys. Today we're going to be counting down the top 10 cards that you can buy right now for under 100k in NBA 2K21 My Team. See, thing is, so many good options at this point because the market has completely collapsed. So I'm going to have more than my normal 4 honorable mentions is basically what I'm going to say. But the top 10, honestly, you could throw any one of them at any position in the top 10, so I would disregard the ranking for the most part. First honorable mention is one of my favorite cards in the game, and that is out of position Rudy. No question about it. I mean, my man is close to 40k or below, and I still believe is one of the best shooting guards in the game. Point guard, I'm not a big fan of him at point guard personally, but shooting guard, no question one of the best. Rudy Base is incredible this year. Next up, Simbular. I gotta mention Simbular. I mean, he's 7'5", I don't know, I'll check his stats in a second. You can get this dude for like 30k or under, somewhere around 25k. That's so cheap for a card this good. Much better on next gen, but he's 7'5", 360, just an absolute unit, man. Like, he doesn't rebound as well as you'd like him to, though, which makes no sense, but that's just a 2k problem. Another honorable mention, Hedo Turkoglu. Part of the reason he's an honorable mention is because he's a little bit pricey. Still, over at about 60k when a lot of these cards are significantly cheaper than that at this point. Base 98, though, he plays pretty well at the point guard. Much better at the small forward, in my opinion, but that's a personal preference thing. Definitely worth a check out if you like base 98, though. Another honorable mention, Idol's Joel Embiid. This card's still like a very, very solid center in this game. People kind of forget about Embiid. Embiid's also, he suffers a bit from Anthony Davis syndrome, where he's really good when he comes out and then people forget about him when the super fake cards start to come out, because Embiid really does do these things in real life. So typically his cards are the first big men that can like really shoot like that, at least recently. So still incredibly good though. Next up, come on, you knew this was coming. The minute he touched below 100k, I had to bring up Scottie Pippen. Scotty 2 Hottie is out here, dude. He has a really slow release if you're willing to live with that, which it's not a bad release. I like it personally. It's just slow. It's really a catch and shoot release. You're not going to be like quick stopping with Scottie Pippen with the release that he has. But he has some of the best defensive animations in the game, along with guys like Kawhi and I guess Cliff Robinson. I like this card a lot. He's still my bench small forward, and I'm pretty sure he's going to continue to be that for the rest of the year. One of the most expensive cards in this list, though. Our second to last honorable mention would be USA Durant. I can't leave this card off because he's really that good. Durant's Durant. I mean, you know what you're getting with him. He is an elite small forward. He's massive, too, at 6'10". Long wingspan, good jump shot. Not much more to say. And then final honorable mention would be Warped Reality Ben Simmons. And although time has kind of passed him by as far as badge count, majority of the ones up have unlimited shoes, unlimited contracts. I mean, that one right there is Kobe Grinch's and an unlimited contract and like 6 additional Hoff badges. Pretty sure none of these have their original badge count. I'm pretty sure all of them have upgraded badges. I don't remember exactly how many he had on next gen, so it's tough to really say. Ben Simmons is still a top tier point guard in this game, though, even that one. Now let's go to number 10, Flash Kristaps. The reason he's number 10 over someone like Simbular is just because if you play a certain style of 2K that involves a lot of boosting and a lot of specific dribble moves and a specific play style, Kristaps is still a top tier big man option for you. 7'3", 240, he moves better than a majority of the centers in this game. I don't think there's really, I personally don't like Kristaps that much, even the Invincible one. Like, he's not much different than the Invincible Kristaps though. Like, really. If you're deciding between these two and you're not trying to play like uber competitive 2K, just go buy the Flash one. He's like 50k. And the other Kristaps is like 200k, and I promise the differences are not that noticeable, so it's not even really that worth it. Even badges you'd think would be really important, like tight handles. I mean, he has in gold on the Invincible, so it doesn't really matter. Number 9 is a new card. He just came out yesterday, and that is Corey Kispert. First off, look at this man. Literally, just look at him. Why would you not want this guy on your team? He's a glue guy. You know what he's bringing to the table. This is basically Klay Thompson. Like he's essentially Klay Thompson. He's Klay Thompson done right, because if you guys know anything about Klay Thompson in this game, he switches on to the center for no reason, and it's been happening for like 3 years, and 2K refuses to fix it. Corey Kispert doesn't do that, so he's essentially Klay Thompson without that. With that Ray Allen base, this is one of the most lethal sharpshooters in the game on both current and next gen. 6'7" too. Plays great at the 2 guard, excellent defense. He booms on everybody, which I feel like that's not necessarily what he's going to do in real life, but it is what it is. Absolutely a perfect 3-and-D cone. Number 8, Danny Ferry. I mean, I'm sure you guys expected Danny Ferry to show up on this list. I don't really need to drone on about Danny Ferry too much. I mean, he's 6'10", base 98, super duper receding hairline. He went to Duke. Those are 2 negatives. Danny Ferry's fake in this game. I just want to know who at 2K's headquarters decided to make Danny Ferry like an OP meta card this year. I don't know. Number 7, Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga is incredibly good. A weird comparison, or somebody who he kind of reminds me of a little bit, is like a way better Jeremy Grant, if that makes sense. 6'8" with a 7'3" wingspan. That John Wall release is incredible on Kuminga. He's very similar to Josh Smith too, but the thing is he has that Kevin Durant upper, which I think puts him a little bit above Josh Smith, because Josh Smith's upper is not as good. But this card is basically an invincible card. If you're looking for a small forward that can kind of do it all with a pretty nice jump shot. Also, he sets really good screens because he's so big. Kuminga's right there for you, man. This dude doesn't really need anything badge-wise. He's pretty much complete right out of the gate. You can pick this dude up for like 25K, and he can compete with the best small forwards in the game. No question about it. This one, number 6, not a huge surprise. Super cheap card, but Boris Diaw. Boris Diaw is still one of the best cards in this game. He plays both the power forward and the point guard position incredibly well. He does have that height and size advantage at the point guard, and at the power forward, he is a wee bit small, but he does, because he has that wide player build, he's able to get a lot of rebounds and box out and stuff like that. This card's near complete. The only badge he doesn't have is blinders, and that's what you're going to find with a lot of cards right now anyway. Number 5 is an invincible card, and that's Anthony Davis. You know, we all know about Anthony Davis syndrome, where he's really, really good in the middle of the year or beginning of the year, and then kind of falls off when all the cards can do everything. But this is still an invincible Anthony Davis. If you're looking for a more traditional power forward that does more traditional power forward things, i.e., catch and shoot guy, great rebounder, shot blocker, etc., what you would think of from a traditional power forward, kind of how I used to talk about Blake Griffin, Anthony Davis is without a doubt the guy for you. No question about it. And for 100K, I know he's like a fan favorite too, so it's kind of like a double thing. You know what I mean? Jonathan Kuminga might be better for some people, but Anthony Davis is definitely better at the power forward. At least in my opinion, anyway. This one's just fine too, by the way. Like, if you don't want to spend 100K and you want one that's just slightly worse, you can get the Space Jam Anthony Davis for like 30K, and he's just as good. Slightly worse in certain things, but just as good in majority of the others. Number 4, Juwan Howard. This card, you're going to see him pop up on the budget card tier list too. This dude is ridiculous. Like, I don't know why they decide to juice up these random guys like this, but I am happy when they do. Because Juwan Howard is ridiculous, man. He plays power forward or small forward. He plays well both. He does have that Ray Allen base with a Carmelo Anthony upper, which is the same upper if you're looking for a similar big man. Antoine Jameson and Chris Bosh both have the same upper. Same with Terry Dissinger. Plus he's got that Ray Allen base, so on current gen he's going to make more whites than any other card in the game, which is huge, especially on current gen where literally how many whites you make can make or break your game. So he's so good, dude. Number 3, Space Jam LeBron. There's no one else that it could have been here at this point. The fact that the Invincible LeBron is still over 100K while this one is at like 80K doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, because this card is essentially an invincible card on its own. In addition to that, this one can play shooting guard and it still has that Exum base, etc. So I really don't know what's up with that. There's no reason to go pick up the Invincible LeBron, especially for like the 200K plus price tag he has, when you can go buy this one for what, 80K, sometimes as low as 70. There's really no reason to go pick up Invincible LeBron, I promise. Stats-wise, he's near perfect anyway, so it really doesn't matter. And most people are going to play, if they're not going to play LeBron at the shooting guard, they're going to play him at the small forward. So there's really no point. Team USA LeBron's just a shade under it, too. It's like they're basically all the same. Number 2, I'm shocked that this card is actually by now, and that's Andrei Kirilenko. He's still one of the best 2-guard / point guards in the game, no question about it. Base 98, and his base 98 is a little bit different. And the reason I say that is because it doesn't feel as sluggish as someone like Hedo Turkoglu's or as affected by latency, and I think that has a lot to do with his upper, which is the base 29 or release 29 or release 21, I'm sorry. Upper, which is the same as like Miles Bridges and Bill Walton, so it's like a weird upper, but it makes base 98 feel just a shade bit smoother. Also, Andrei Kirilenko, that's my opinion though, that's like a personal opinion, I don't think that's universal. Andrei Kirilenko also has incredible defensive animations. He's long, he attacks the rim, he can lock down the interior and the perimeter. Doesn't matter, whatever you need this card to do, he'll go do it. That's just facts. And number 1, it's Cheap Loot's channel. What did you think was going to happen? Not this Tracy McGrady, no sir. At number 1, no. Out of position Tracy McGrady is officially under 100K right now. He is one of the best point guards in the game. You know, last year, Tracy McGrady was not a very good point guard. Like when we got that Flash T-Mac, he didn't really play great at point guard, but this card is ridiculous, especially on current gen. This is one of the best point guards in the game on current gen, no question about it. And I would be willing to say, if not the best point guard available for under 100K, up there. It's really just personal preference between guys like Andrei Kirilenko or like, you know, Tracy McGrady or even like Ben Simmons or something. It's really just personal preference. But T-Mac's elite at every single thing. Literally anything you need him to do, he can do it. If you want him to play point guard, he's got it. Shooting guard, obviously, he's elite. Trey Burke base is great. No steady shooter, so he doesn't have that on current gen, which is huge. 6'8" with a long wingspan. He can defend. He blocks shots really well. He has great shot blocking animations. That's something they did really well with T-Mac in particular this year. His steal animations are good. He's like Scottie Pippen essentially, but like slightly worse defensively, but with a significantly better jump shot. If you want a 3 hunt with Tracy McGrady, he can do it. Anything you need from him, he's got it. As always, it has been your boy Cheap Ludes, and I will be back with more content this weekend. I will be out of town today, and I'll be back on Sunday, so hopefully I can drop some more stuff. Peace out, you guys. Have a good weekend.